Hey, one more thing before you go. On this Over the Teacup Sunday, Diane and I are going to have a conversation about a fantastic new series that we binge watched at the first opportunity we had. FUBAR is about the most brilliant new show that I think I've seen in a really long time.
It's very good. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun.
It is. It's about a CIA operative on the verge of a retirement who discovers a family secret over and above his own. He's forced to go back into the field for one last job. And the series tackles universal family dynamics set against a global backdrop of spies, action, and humor, and much, much, much more. I'm your host, Michael Hurst, and I'm here with my lovely wife and co host, Diane.
Hello, happy Sunday.
Sit back, relax, and have a cup of whatever you want to do and enjoy. Welcome to One More Thing Before You Go Over the Teacup Sunday. I before we get into this, I think I need to do a quick disclaimer.
hmm
There will be some info that you may or may not want to be surprised about because we're not going to give away everything, but we are going to give away just a little bit of stuff to intrigue you and show some similarities between them, kind of in a little bit of our life in some point.
A little
So,
bit.
yeah, just a little bit. So, if you don't want any major surprises, which again, we're not giving away too much, then you might want to take a pause on this episode and come back and watch it, or listen to it here after watching or binging the program. Because we're not going to give away too much, as I said. We're not going to spoil it for you, but we want to make sure that you get the best opportunity to really enjoy this show. Don't
Yeah,
you think?
it's difficult to talk about shows we like after we watch them because I mean, we just want to tell it. We want to say what's going on, and we're trying to get everybody to watch it. It's hard not to describe what's happening, get you to watch it, but
Well, and realistically, when I tell you the numbers, you're going to be really shocked because the numbers that I was able to achieve are actually for the end of May when it first got released. And
uh,
obviously, since then, I know that it's gone up to so many more viewing hours than what I'm about to tell you. But let me tell everybody a little bit about the show and exactly what it is
and where to watch it.
and where to watch it.
Yes.
FUBAR is about a father and a daughter who have both been working as CIA operatives for years, but each kept their involvement in the CIA hidden from the other. It resulted in their entire relationship being a gigantic lie. Upon learning of each other's involvement in the CIA, the pair are forced to work together as partners and against the backdrop of an explosive action and espionage arena. And then they kind of get to learn a little bit more about each other and who they really are. FUBAR is up on Netflix right now. So if you have a Netflix account, you have easy access to it. It's in the top 10. Nick Santora serves as the showrunner and executive producer, along with Arnold Schwarzenegger as the stars. You see him here on the screen, and executive producer. FUBAR, love the name, by the way, don't you, Diane?
Yes, I do.
We won't say it out loud because it still is a family friendly show, but you get the general idea.
I think by now a lot of people know what FUBAR stands for. So,
I would hope so.
yeah.
If you don't, just think about F, upped, beyond, all, repair.
I
Is
thought it
it?
was all recognition. Maybe we don't know what it means.
Oh, I'll reckon. I always knew it the other way. Well, anyway, he's also executive produced by Adam Higgs, Scott Sullivan, Holly Dale, and Bill Bost with Skydance's David Ellison and Dana Goldberg. So it's starring just an amazing group of individuals that really the chemistry within this cast, I think, is amazing. I think that they've the casting in itself has done a fantastic job with bringing these people together. Some of these people, obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. This is his first television program. We'll talk about that. His first television series ever. The Monica
Yes,
Barbaro. Hopefully, sending her name.
saying
Hopefully,
her
I'm
name.
saying her name correctly. Monica Barbaro. We've loved her for a while now. We used to watch her in Splitting Up Together.
together. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
She
splitting up together.
Lisa Apple and Splitting Up Together.
Yes, and loved her in that, and along with, she plays Phoenix. You'll recognize her if you a Top Gun fan and Top Gun Maverick. She is the female pilot Phoenix. But it
Yep.
also brings together some really cool individuals. It has an amazing cast. Fortune Fenster is a comedian, and of course, we've known her through several other series, and we love her. We'll talk a little bit about her, a little bit of frustrations with her character in regard to being on here, but I think that everybody knows who she is. And then, of course, we've got an ensemble cast that just is a good team of individuals that do an amazing job. I think of bringing this show forward. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. I think that they right from the start, it usually it kind of takes in many shows it takes a while for the cast to kind of meld together and for you to believe them, you
Yeah,
know. But geez, right from the first minute, they just all fit
it
really
really
well.
worked. I mean, you get the family dynamics as well as the intrigue, and the frustrations of being a parent. And from my perspective, I there's a few things in there that I have a very unique relationship with our daughters, and
Mhm.
that I'm proud of actually. But there's some things in here that just they kind of reminded me of portions of that relationship, and the thing about me being a couple and then coming home to two daughters. It was kind of amazing that yeah, that they incorporated that. I think it's really, and they work really well. You could really picture them as father and daughter.
Daughter, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It was uh, yeah. There wasn't really any weirdness at all for that. I don't think
Oh,
it. Mm-mm.
yeah. You could really. I mean, he's done it. He's done a father-daughter relationship with several people that we're fans of. Alyssa
Mm.
Milano, in a movie a long time ago, and uh, I know there's been more.
Well, they had a daughter in True Lies.
Oh, True Lies, yeah, the family
Daughter.
dynamics in True Lies, where he was a comedian in there. You also, it's interesting because we noticed right off the bat that there's similarities between True Lies, not the TV show that just started, which unfortunately
Well,
got canceled.
they
But
started and canceled real
yeah,
quick.
but the actual movie True Lies that starred Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis, as well as
I don't remember the actress that I know she's done other things. I don't. That's an old movie.
well, it is an old movie. Plus, I mean, but there's another Tom Arnold's in it as well, and there's some, connection with that with this movie as well, and which I
Yeah,
think is pretty cool because he's brought some of
yeah.
the people back from some of the other movies, and they've got cameos in there, and it really makes it work. But I got some interesting facts. You want to hear them? I think everybody else
Sure.
might want to hear them. Did you know that according to Netflix and Netflix's chief action officer, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger himself, he's called the chief action officer.
For now,
I don't know whether or not he developed that himself, but we've seen it in the commercials that they've got running right now. He gets in the elevator with the
I haven't
with the.
seen it.
You haven't seen that one? Yeah, it's pretty funny actually. He gets in the elevator with him, and he says, "I am the chief, Netflix's chief action
Actually,
officer." Well, they brought the heat because FUBAR, this brilliant new series, Arnold's First, as I said earlier, was created by Nick Santora, debuted in the number one spot on the English TV list. You ready for this?
hmm.
88.94 million hours viewed, making it the most viewed series in the last week of May during its debut, with over 12 million views. That's 88.94 million hours viewed and divide by 7.13 runtime hours. The action comedy appeared in the top 10 in 90 countries in the
Wow.
first week.
We may. This may be a moot point on this episode. Then maybe everybody. Watch.
Everybody's already seen it, so they're going to go, well, you're not telling us anything we don't know.
That's insane.
Isn't
Those
that
are insane numbers.
well, I think part of it is that, any of us that have been growing up watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and
Yeah.
and that dynamic whether it be Terminator or in the beginning he was Conan the Barbarian. I mean, I guess the first thing I ever saw him in was Conan the Barbarian. And they took him out of the weightlifting arena for that because they thought he'd be perfect fit for that. So he didn't have to say much. He didn't have to talk much. He just had to go out and kill and stab
Grunt.
people and throw rocks at people and things like that. But
Do some grunt.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
Okay. I mean, I think people know when they are going to watch a Schwarzenegger movie, they're not there to watch, the most Oscar-winning performance. God bless. But they know they're going to see a pretty great action film. I
oh,
mean,
absolutely. And and,
he's no
and I think he's 75 or 76 years old.
75. I believe
So
that's what we.
so
Yeah.
this guy's 75 years old. He's still pumping iron and he is still doing action scenes. Although there's a few things that he talked about in an interview we saw on Instagram. You guys will have to look that up on his Instagram site. And he kind of it was kind of funny actually because he was talking about some of the stunts that he was unable to do and said, "Well, I am getting a little older, so
Yeah. He tried them first and then realized,
yeah."
nope, not going to do that. It's not going to work.
But all
So,
the fight scenes, he was in all the fight scenes, and he said he loved the choreography with that. It was like a dance.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
said it was like a dance,
And
which is pretty cool
he
for
really does
a guy.
great. He does great in this. I mean, I don't, for me anyway, I don't think it was typical Schwarzenegger. Like, he's so funny. I wasn't expecting him to be so funny.
Well, that's where I see the True Lies in the Twins, the
Yeah.
movie with Danny DeVito, Twins, which you'll see a little bit of that in this series also.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a reference.
yeah, yeah. So you see, so from that perspective, he has that subtle. I won't say British humor, but it's the subtle humor.
Yeah.
It's not really it. I wouldn't put him on stage at
No,
the comedy
no.
club,
It's more like
but it
dry.
works.
Yeah, it
It
works.
works.
It works well.
And then you combine that with Fortune and with the other, members of the cast. I think one of the other people that are in this is also a comedian or has done a lot of comedy shows. So you combine that with the cast itself. That the dynamics are brilliant. So a little bit about it. This series is a father and a daughter have both been working as a CIA operative for years, but each kept their involvement in the CIA hidden from the other, resulting in their entire relationship being a lie. Upon learning of each other's involvement in the CIA, the pair are forced to work together as partners against the backdrop of explosive espionage, and they get to learn everything about who they really, really are. So I thought that was kind of an interesting
Premise.
premise.
Yeah. I
You know
think
what I
so
mean?
too.
I
Yeah.
think it's an interesting premise. The aspect that, again, we all hold secrets. Kids don't know some things from, we don't tell them. There are things that our kids, I'm sure, don't tell us.
Right.
So, from this perspective, I think that it is um, this dynamic is, I think, a unique approach to the whole situation. But that's how it reminds me back of True Lies.
Yeah, but this is kind of like secrets on steroids because they're both with the CIA. So of course they're not going to tell anybody. They're not going to tell each other. I mean, it's it's kind of it's kind of the same, but it's different.
Well, yes. Yes, yes, yes. But I think it adds a nice little dilemma to this because, there are things that, boy, see, I don't want to give too much away, but if you've already been watching this, then you've
So
already seen
I, I think we need to start doing episodes talking about shows that we haven't seen that we want to see, and we can't give anything away.
it. Well, it is in this particular case, I think the family dynamics really works.
Mhm.
And not giving it away because there's some of this in some of the trailers that are out there that you can watch and so forth. And I'm sure that I've read some blogs that they give away everything
Mhm.
already. So we're going to try not to do that. But in reality, he's got an ex-wife, and that creates an issue within itself, and there's resentment there. There's some anger there. There's some pent up frustration during that relationship for different things. Him being gone all the time and not being home all the time and not being able to be there for certain aspects of her life all the time. Do you remember the times that I got called out of like the girls' dance recital and had to climb out of the balcony from videotaping them, interrupt the whole show because I got a
Yep.
call out, you
Yep. I
know?
don't think you get that.
Or when we were in the movies and I got a call out and we had to take two cars, had to take my patrol car and had to, you had to drive our regular car, kind of a deal. Or,
Several
um,
times
yeah, several times, yeah, or at a dinner or whatever the case may be.
for
Um, and,
sure.
and I'm sure that created resentment. And, there's other aspects of this type of situation and the father daughter relationship because there were certain expectations that I wanted to do with our kids to make sure that they were safe and sound and knew certain things and new aspects of different things. And, reality is, I'm sure that created issues. I,
I don't know.
my kids don't cuss around me, but I know they cuss.
Right.
But out
Because
of
they
respect to me, they don't cuss.
they cuss around me, but
Yeah, see,
that's
yeah,
that's because I have the mouth of a trucker, so it's fine. It's
you
fine.
do.
But
uh,
I blame you for that because I didn't have the mouth of a trucker till I married you, and you were a cop, and cops have that. They
well,
they have mouth, and it just
That
that's
that's the difference between day shift and swing shift and midnight shift.
yeah. Which you were usually on midnight shift.
And swing shift. Swing shift and
It's
midnight shift. And that transition there from about 9 p.m. to about 4 a.m.,
yeah.
language changes dramatically.
Yes.
You can't be really nice and say, "Pardon me, sir, would you get out of the vehicle for me, please? Do you know why I stopped you?" When
Pardon,
it's two
would
o'clock
you
in the morning.
would you please put the crack pipe down and anyway. Okay.
The one that you're going to tell me already that it doesn't belong to you
Right.
and that you're holding it for a friend, but you won't tell me who the friend is.
Right.
But yes, it creates that environment. And, I say, oh, my girls are good. They don't smoke. They don't drink. They don't, then I found out later on that my kids
So,
are using CBD and cussing. I love the dynamic within this. I think it really creates something that individuals who, especially dads who have daughters, you kind of
mhm.
go, wait a minute, maybe I need to take a better look at my kids and they better take a better look at me.
Yeah. Well, I
Kind
think
of,
that's what's really great about this series is they show the growth of the relationship
yeah, very much so.
uh, and how it evolves into something um, that what's really fun that each of them, well, especially he, really thought they had that relationship her whole life because he had no clue, that she was even
Yeah.
upset about the person about him being gone all the time. He just didn't even know. So she knew it wasn't perfect, but he just, you'll
Thought
see in the
everything was
beginning,
hunky dory.
he just thought it was the most perfect father daughter relationship ever. But it ends up, falling apart and then kind of growing back together. So I thought that was kind of cool the way they did that.
I thought it was cool too. So we go back to here,
When he thinks everything's perfect and
and then you
he
go to
realizes,
here, and you realize, she's a completely opposite from what he sees at home.
and
But
really neither one of them know who the other really is. They're
but
like, wait, who are you?
yeah, and each one of them are, and you'll see this in the progression of this. Each one of them want to be in control, and
Yes.
the other one's saying, "I know better." And see, here's how I see. Here's where I still see a little bit of myself in here because in the job that I was, it's like, okay, well, I know this, and this, and you should do this, and this. And they're going, yeah, but I do this, and this, and I know I'm supposed to do that, and that. And that friction is there sometimes because we both want control
Well, and
for a
you
different
both
reason.
think the other is more right.
Yes.
Maybe you both see that, or you all, because we have two, you all see in the situation, whatever situation it might be, that each of you is correct in some way about things, but you're all fighting for that. I know all and I'm right about it, the whole thing. Um, yeah, that's happened for years.
Yeah, but we
I
have a
think it's
very, very loving relationship, and they always know that, just like in this movie here, where her dad is always going to be there for her, always going to protect her,
mhm,
always, you know, without fail. So, we have that kind of relationship. And
yeah,
and hey, at least I don't have a ship.
ship.
A ship. This is
Mhm.
Arnold's ship, which you'll learn about.
Yeah,
He comes in and says, "That's my ship. That's not a boat. That's my ship."
it's the same size boat behind him in the picture.
Yes, yes, over his shoulder. It's about that size, which is, I think, kind of funny.
Yeah,
It kind of creates the environment for, yeah.
yeah. It,
I, I don't want to say that as all guys, we always have this perception of larger than reality, but
maybe it's a guy thing. I don't
maybe
know.
it's a guy thing. Yeah. I caught a fish. It was this, this big. And in reality, it's about that big.
Yeah.
Which it kind of works. So, what what did you like about it in the beginning? I mean, what hooked you?
Um, well, I don't know. I'm one of these people that if I already really like an actor or actress from something else, I'm like already rooting for him in whatever this is. You know what I mean? And for me, Monica, who plays
Yeah,
the, I'm I'm having a lot of brain fog today, so I can't think of character names. I can't think. I mean, I'm lucky I even know who I am today.
we'll just say
Um,
daughter.
the daughter. So, and I know her name, but anyway, Monica, the actress who plays her, like you mentioned, was in Top Gun, the newest Top Gun. And when we watched that movie, it didn't matter who else was in the scene with her. My eyes went directly to her, and they stayed on her. I mean, she just has this thing in front of the camera,
Presence.
you know. And maybe it's because I knew her from the other show, the uh, Splitting Up Together. Even though I didn't really like her character as much in that, um, but then in the end she kind of got treated unfairly through that whole thing too. So then I felt sorry for her, and then I really liked her, and so for me personally, I think it's just because I knew her from before, and that she just really stood out to me in Top Gun. I was already there. Like, oh, she's in this. Okay, I am. That's it. I'm done. So
And yeah, and that works. I mean, I think what hooked me in the beginning was idea, the whole idea of the whole thing. But I love True Lies. I love the movie True Lies. That's one of
it's
my
good.
favorite movies.
Yeah.
So in seeing that right in the beginning, that's what I automatically right off the bat saw, is that this
Hmm.
is kind of a following the same pathway as True Lies, but more personal.
Yeah.
I think a little bit more personal. You get to see more of the family dynamic at home instead of with True Lies the movie. You saw more of the CIA work on the outside. You saw more of Tom Arnold and Arnold Schwarzenegger running around catching bad guys and everything, and Jamie Lee
Right.
Curtis getting kind of caught up in it inadvertently,
Right.
at various stages for different reasons. But
Right.
from this perspective, you get to see right off the bat, you're going, oh wow. And we were all caught off guard, for a little bit when when he realized that, oh crap, that's my daughter. That's
Hmm. It's
undercover.
really that's one of the best scenes in the whole thing. I think it
Yeah.
really,
And
it's
that
really good.
and that's kind of what hooked me from that point. And the other character, the other cast that's in there, I really Monica
The guy,
Barbaro plays Emma. That's his daughter, Emma Brunner. Um, Milan Carter plays Barry. He does a brilliant job in that.
I
He
love. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah,
love Uncle. Oh
Uncle Barry. That's what she
yeah.
calls him, Uncle Barry. And the thing of it is that the family doesn't know that he also. But
Right.
they, I mean, you look at Tree Lies the movie, and nobody knew Tom Arnold was either. He was kind of the
Right.
uncle in that
Yeah.
movie, and they
Yeah.
asked him on the Instagram talk that they had on there. He came on with Arnold during that Instagram talk, reel. I sound like an old guy here. The Instagram reel where they were doing a live stream on Instagram, watching the show and then interacting with some of the people. He was going. People were asking me how do you feel you're kind of filling those shoes with of Tom Arnold? And he's going, well, it was intimidating because I want to make sure I did it right, but I want to bring something to the table myself to make it my own,
He
which he
did a
did.
great, yeah, he did an amazing job. I mean, they all did. I just, yeah, I loved him from minute one too. And the guy who's the other guy? I
The
can't think
guy
of
that
his
plays Alden is Travis
Alden.
Van Winkle.
Okay.
Travis Van
Mhm.
Winkle plays Alden, and he's the eye candy, the
Yes, I
the
was
male
gonna say,
eye candy.
I would say ladies or anyone who's gay, into men, bi, whatever. I'm trying to cover it all. Sorry. Um, he doesn't take his shirt off enough. I mean, just
Yeah.
it does not happen
Yeah.
enough. He need when they please, please, please renew for next season. When they come back next season, please have his shirt off at least once every episode. Come on. I mean,
Yeah, he's definitely eye candy, but he's also got a personality.
yes,
So,
yes,
he's not just I'll probably get hell for this. He's not like a dumb jock that they,
no,
they put in there. And not all jocks are dumb. Don't get me wrong.
no,
I
no,
don't mean it that way, but it is. I have to be careful.
no. It's so touchy. It's touchy. So
But he is really he's good at it. He's also got the
smart,
subtle humor,
yes,
you
smart,
know,
funny,
but
smart, funny,
serious.
beautiful, serious. I mean, he's got it
The
all.
whole bit. He
He's
does a really good job. He does a really
I
good
mean,
job. And then Fabiana Udenio, and she's Italian. She's got an accent even in this. She's been in a lot of things. You'll recognize her from many, many things for many, many years. Actually, she's plays Arnold's ex-wife
mhm,
and Emma's mom, and does a fantastic job as well.
yeah,
And then, of course, some of the other uh, the supporting cast. Aparna Brielle is Tina. And I won't go over each and every one of these, and you'll see them when you get to there. And
okay.
Andy Buckley is Donnie. Donnie is I don't remember
Yeah.
Donnie.
Donnie is the ex-wife's
Oh
boyfriend.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he's a um, you'll recognize him too from many many things.
Yeah,
The
in some stuff.
Jay Baruchel is he plays Carter. He plays Emma's boyfriend.
Right.
And there's a strange dynamic between that as well because Arnold thinks that this is where we have the relationship like that too. He feels that Carter's not good enough for his daughter for several reasons, but he's a really nice guy, and you guys will recognize him too. He's been in several Seth Rogen movies,
Mhm.
primarily, but here he plays. He's kind of grown up a little bit
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
in here, so he does a really good job with what he's, with what
That's
he's
just,
been presented with.
I think that's just the typical dad stuff that no
Yeah,
one's going to be daughter. So,
good enough for your
but
daughter.
Fortune, you skipped over Fortune.
Well, see, I'm going back to Fortune right now. Fortune Feimster is a. There's so many things that we've seen her in, and I can't, off the top of my head,
Well,
even.
she's a stand-up comedian,
She is a
and
stand-up comedian,
she's in like every other show on TV. I mean, you can't.
and
I
she's
don't
been in
know.
several movies.
Yes, I don't know anybody that wouldn't recognize her.
Yeah, and
On
she's got that real abrupt, you know, right to the point, and she
yeah,
does that in her comedy. She does that in every character that she's ever played in the film or TV,
yeah,
including animated series. It's one of those
and
things where she just gets right in your face and tells it like it is.
yeah.
Um,
But she's funny too.
what's that?
But she's funny
But
as
she's
well.
funny. She's funny
Yeah.
about it as well. So yeah, I think I like the whole thing. I like how it progressed to such a point. Each episode, we were only going to binge watch a couple of them, and we ended up binge watching like the majority of them before we finally had to go to bed
Yeah.
and then get up the next day and finish the rest of them. It was like one long movie.
movie. Yeah, it was
It
great.
it moved at that pace.
Yeah.
One long movie.
It it is really, it's a series that's really really hard to turn off. It's just an automatic binge. You just want to know what happens next. But I do want to say, you know, one, I can't even call it negative because nothing was negative about it for me. The one thing that was leaning that way for me in the first few episodes was Fortune's character, and
Yeah.
that it got to be, it was a little too much over the top for me at times. And I don't want to give anything away, but a lot of that abruptness was there. And she's funny; she's still funny, but it was a little too much. But then it gets better. So if anyone else watches it and you feel the same way and you feel like giving up because of that, don't. Just keep going. She's fine. She's fine. She's still funny. So
Yeah, I think you'll see, like in this shot that we've got right here. It is it is a unique uh, relationship she has with her partner. So there you see the eye candy, which she acknowledges, and
mhm.
she's clearly. I mean, she's. We won't explain what they're doing here, but you could probably figure that out. I'm not
Yeah,
it. I'm out.
yeah,
You're gonna do it. You're gonna get stuck. But at least it gives you the idea. This will remind you who she is, and you get to look at him and see why he needs to take his shirt off.
yes. Several times, please. Next season. Thank
Yeah,
you.
not too many times. But
Uh,
I do love
every
the
time.
rest of the cast. This is all of them
Hmm.
that you see. Everybody that's a primary character are in this particular van. We
Hmm.
won't tell you why. You'll see it when you get into the movie, but you'll see that the as this progresses, at some point, everybody, his ex-wife's boyfriend, the Emma's boyfriend, there a couple of other characters that you
Uncle.
wouldn't think would. Everybody gets involved all at once in order to help pretty much save their own ass.
Hmm. Yeah, but that's all we're gonna say.
But yeah, that's that. What does Arnold say? That's it and
That,
that's all.
that's it, and that's all.
That's it and that's all. That's it
That's
and
it.
that's all.
The catchphrase for this series.
Yeah. So
Every
there we
time.
go.
Oh,
that that was a standing ovation for Fubar.
perfect.
So that works, right?
Yes.
So anything that you didn't like about this?
Nope. Like I said, the for the first few episodes, Fortune's character kind of bugged me, and it was a little over the top for me. But that was it. Everything else,
Everything else played in, and I mean, and there's a few things that you kind of think you figured out,
yeah,
and there's little red herrings in there that you kind of go, okay, well, this is what's going to happen, and then realize, oh yeah, they did that really well.
yeah,
I really
it's
like
good.
that. And Arnold, believe it or not, I mean, let's, again, I'm just reiterating, you guys need to go to Instagram, find Arnold Schwarzenegger's Instagram account, go back and look at his reel. It's really good. He kicks
Mhm.
back, he picks up his little dog. You'd think
Yeah,
Arnold would have this huge German Shepherd Doberman Pinscher,
meant something.
yeah, massive dog that's, got spiked collars, and he's got this little itty bitty cork. Was that a corky?
I think it was a palm. No, it wasn't a palm. Maybe a Yorkie.
A Yorkie. I said corky, but yeah, Yorkie. Maybe a Yorkie. Yeah, I think it was a Yorkie.
It was a Yorkie.
Cute
So
little
cute.
puppy dog. And
Yeah,
and the dog wanted up. He's sitting down. He's got his feet up, and the dog's like, "Oh, you want up?" And he leans over
yeah.
and picks her up. This is so and so.
Like it's like palm of his hand. Right.
So yeah, it worked. It really it was cool. But like he said, he really enjoyed doing the series himself. It's the first, as I said earlier, it's the first one he's ever done, and I think he did really really well for the first one.
He really did. It's
Although he did
great.
say it was a lot of work for somebody his age.
Yeah, I can understand that because let me tell you, the CIA stuff. I mean, they do some stuff. It's got a
Yeah.
lot of action. You might not think it has a lot of action.
A lot of
So
action, and
yeah,
he does the majority of his stunts. He does do. There were
I mean,
just a
good.
couple of things that, which I'll refer to his Instagram, so I'm not giving anything away. But there's some things that he does that, he took a few tumbles and said, "Nope, I'm going to let the stunt person do that," and they let the stunt man do that. That part of the scene. And but other than that, he said the fight scenes and everything else, they're all his. I mean, he choreographed. He he participated in choreographing those scenes and making sure that the fight scenes went off the way they were supposed to. And for an old guy, he can still throw a punch, man.
And yep,
Yeah, yeah, he really can. Well,
yep.
filming for the first season took, I think, somewhere between, I think, the research that I did. It took place between May 2nd, 2022, and August 25th of 2022. So the time between filming and when it starts and the time the series is released on Netflix was over about 12 months before it was released, because it was released at the end of May. So I think, when we'll say when
Win.
they re-up it, when they get a number two season and beyond, then I think
Hmm.
that, the pre-production and the filming and the post-production, everything could take, maybe up to 14, 15 months. Anybody that knows anything about filmmaking or of any type, whether it be series or documentary or a film, it takes a lot of time. And because they used a lot of international, sets within this, they weren't sets; they were international locations that they actually filmed at. Arnold talks about that in the Instagram post as well.
Hmm.
Uh, the fact that, they traveled the world in getting this done, I'm sure they'll do the same thing again. I mean, after all, it's about CIA stuff,
Hmm.
and
Well,
CIA is, for those of you out there listening, the CIA technically are not allowed to, operate on U.S. soil.
mm,
See, so in regard to that, I mean, not just because they're filming, but that'll tell you that the intrigue, other than coming from headquarters, of course, because I CIA headquarters here, and they're giving your walking papers to what you need to do.
right,
They're going to be traveling. They're
right.
going to be doing international locations for this. And
Well,
obviously go
uh, sorry, I was just going to say with the numbers that those numbers
ahead.
are insane. I can't imagine they won't get a season two and beyond.
88.94 million watch hours in the first week that it was released.
And what
That's
was the
and
date?
that's May 30th. As
No,
of May 30th.
no, but what date was it released? Was it like May 21st or?
Oh hell, I don't know. I didn't look.
That's, I'm just saying. I mean, let's say it was May 21st. It's only June 4th now, and it. I mean that. I mean, considering what I wonder what the numbers
Well,
are by today. You
yeah,
know,
because let me look. I mean, we're
I
here
mean,
to
it's
we're here to
insane.
educate people. So let's see
Yeah,
whether or not they have a release date on here. Let me
I mean,
look.
they've got to have another one, and especially the way they ended at the cliffhanger, and it's a cliffhanger, people. Let me just say,
Yeah, they did an outstanding cliffhanger. It was like, wow. Let me
it's
see.
like okay, uh, what I can't even talk. It's
Oh,
amazing.
for parents, just so you have it, Parents Guide. It's got a mild section nudity. It's got moderate violence and gore. It's got
Yeah, it does.
moderate profanity. It's got mild alcohol, drugs, and smoking. It's
Mhm.
moderate, frightening, and intense scenes. Most of it's just fighting, and there's a little bit of drinking, a little bit of smoking.
There's some scenes of killing, and it's
Um,
pretty it can
it
be
was
graphic.
released. It was released May 25th.
May 25th.
It was released May 25th of 2023, and by
Wow,
May 30th of 2023, they had
that's not
88.94 million hours of watch time.
that's only 5 days.
Yes.
Whoa.
In 5 days, they had 88.9
Well,
million watch hours.
like I said, we may be telling people something they already know because with that many people watching and with that many watch hours,
Yeah.
okay, we all love FUBAR.
Well, and here's the deal, though. I think a lot of things are up in the air currently, unfortunately, because of the Writers Guild, uh,
Yeah.
the WGA strike at the moment. And we're hoping that that gets cleared up pretty soon. You know,
Yeah.
obviously, we are friends with some writers. We do know writers in our
Fully,
previous,
fully supportive of what
fully
they're doing.
supportive of it. Yeah, we are very we had relationships with a lot of Hollywood screenwriters, you know, a number of years ago, and so we understand, you know, their strife, their struggle. So we do support that, but that may or may not have an effect on the FUBAR when it comes out again, as well as a lot of the other shows that are going to be released. But at least they have some time to work on it
Yep.
here over the summer. But um, that means it'll delay shooting and everything else. So we may not see anything until 24, you know, 2024. Hopefully not into 2025, but possibly into 2025. Let's hope that doesn't
Mm,
happen.
not
You know, and my understanding is preliminarily,
prelim.
preliminarily, English.
Well, I was going to say it is National Cognac Day. Have you been into the cognac?
I've been snorting cognac, yes. I know that, of course, Arnold's going to be back with that. You know, that Monica will be back with it. Milan Carter will be back with it. Fortune is going to be back. Travis Van Winkle's coming back. Fabiano Udano's coming back. Jay Baruchel, Barbara Eve Harris as Dot. Arpanya Brielle as Tina's coming back. Andy Buckley as Donnie's coming back.
Oh,
So,
you know who we forgot to mention was the CIA director. Um, I don't know who she. I don't know the actress's name, but she does a really good job too, and she's in it a lot.
I'd have to go back to the graphic actually to kind of double check that.
I just want to give her props too because she did a really great job.
Yeah, everybody did a really good job. So, you know,
Mhm.
honestly, um, Diane, what's your recommendation for FUBAR?
God, watch it. But obviously, it seems like everybody may have already watched it because of those numbers. But
Well,
watch
watch it again.
and
We should
watch it.
watch it again so they know we get more numbers up there so that Netflix
Again.
goes, oh, yeah, we can't. Netflix has canceled so many shows they really shouldn't have canceled that I'm still really mad about, you know, and me
Yep.
along with other millions of people are still kind of pissed off about. But hey, it's one of those things, I guess. But the more we watch it, maybe the more they'll promote it. So my thing
Yep.
is, you're gonna love it.
Yep.
It's got everything. It's got action. It's got intrigue. It's got thriller. You know, some
Humor.
humor. It's
Humor.
got family dynamics in it. It's got love. It's got hate. It's got you name it. It's got everything.
Got everything.
Got
It's
everything.
awesome.
So you gotta watch it. So
Yep.
real quick, I need to say all promotional material included but not limited to the trailers, images, and videos are all copyright to their respective owners. Netflix, which is a registered trademark of Netflix Incorporated. So all the screenshots and everything that you have there is promotional material. I give credit to them for so that we're here to promote you in your show and so forth. So thank you very much for having that available on the web. We mucho
Mm.
appreciated it. Anyway, next week we're going to talk to you. We got a fantastic show that we're going to talk about next week as well. If you haven't already, start watching The Rise of the Pink Ladies. Grease, The Rise of the Pink Ladies.
Oh, it's so good.
It
Oh
is
my God.
it is amazingly good, and the choreography and the music and the cast and the dynamics and the writing and the costuming and
Everything.
everything about it. If you're a Grease fan, and I know some of you young people out there that may be listening to this, you may not understand Grease yet. Watch it.
I, as you know, Grease is probably my most favorite movie of all time. I don't usually like to watch movies more than once. I'm just weird. I don't know. But I have watched Grease 150,000 times, at least.
Yes.
And I know
So,
every
yep,
word, every song. And I
yep,
had
yep.
the album. I mean, it came out when I was 10, and I had the album and I worked it because I listened to it and sang to it so much. I love Grease. Okay. That being said, Grease Rise of the Pink Ladies, I didn't know what to expect. And I think you had to talk me into actually watching it. I was
I
like,
did.
wait, no,
I did. I did.
you're not going to ruin Grease for me. No,
Yep.
they didn't. It,
Yep.
it, it brought it to a whole new modern level, I guess is what I could say.
It
And
did.
we'll talk about
Yeah. Had to talk you into it, and I'm glad that you did watch it. And now we're like way hooked, and in reality, they need to get that one renewed as well.
Yep.
So between now and next week, you need to
Watch it
watch it. Okay.
on Paramount Plus.
Yes, on Paramount Plus. And if you haven't, or you don't want to watch it until we give you our honest opinion of this fantastic entertainment piece of work that is displayed in front of you to where you feel like you're right in the room with them,
Yeah. Yeah.
then join us next Sunday.
And if you love music, I mean, really, it's a musical person's series.
It is. I will have to say that, yes. But that's why you need to watch Grease if you need to refresh your memories to this. Or if you haven't watched Grease, you need to find it, watch it. It's a
You,
classic. It's an
I think
absolute classic.
really, in order to get the most out of the Pink Lady series, you need to have seen Grease.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So anyway, Dan, before we go, one more thing before
Yep.
we go. You have some, what is today?
National Day,
National
yes.
Day.
National Day, things that are being celebrated today for June 4th. So I'm not going to name them all because there's a few, but National Old Maids Day. So I just want to thank you for being an old maid. Appreciate that. Let's see. I already mentioned National Cognac Day, which apparently you had already been into, which I didn't even know we had any, but apparently we did. Um, oh, it's okay. So these are two kind of sad ones. It's an International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression Day.
That's that's a bizarre day.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. So, acknowledges the pain that children around the world suffer. Many of these children are victims of physical, mental, and emotional abuse. It's also a day that the UN affirms its duty to protect children's rights. So, it's for a good purpose. It's just really very sad to think about.
It's very sad.
Um, and then there is this is the other sad one, and sad for us because we used to have three, and we have not had any since. But it's National Hug Your Cat Day. So I'm already tearing up. We lost our three cats a few years ago. One of them died in my arms, Dakota, and that's just something that's never going to leave me. Um, and then his sister Sassy died a couple years after that, and Vegas, who found us, he was just a stray and just ended up sleeping in our backyard. So we took him in and
On the porch.
on the porch, and we thought he was um we had thought he was like 7 or 8 years old maybe when he died, and they're like, no, he was probably about 15. I'm like, oh. So all of our cats lived to be between 15 and 17 years old, so I
18.
think that
15 and 18 years.
8-year-old Max is right.
Well,
Max
Sassy and Max both were 18.
was Sassy 18. Okay,
Hmm.
so Max was your cat when I met you,
Yes,
and he lived to be 18.
18.
Yeah. Yeah, and he died kind of in our arms too. So
Well, we try to make a habit of making sure that whatever animals we take into this home, we treat like family and give them lots of
yes,
love and caring, and I think that helps them live a longer life.
and I
You
think
know,
they're still around. So I think
I do
I
too.
once in a while, it's funny. I feel like I'll feel something on my leg, like I'm in the kitchen or whatever, and I just feel something, and I'm thinking, what's Charlie doing in here? And there's nothing there. Charlie's not there, and there's nothing there. But I feel really like I felt a cat rub up against my leg. So I think they're here.
And it could
So
very
anyway,
well be.
Cat Day, if you have one, please give them hugs for us. Um, National Cancer Survivors Day. So we need to honor that. We have cancer survivors in our family. Um, National Safe Day, which I believe is about gun violence. So we need to honor that too, because this weekend was actually Wear Orange weekend or something, and it was for supporting anti-gun violence. And so National Safe Day is also today.
That's a
And then
lot of national days today for everybody to get used to and to
I
understand.
Well, the last one is National Cheese Day, and I just want to honor the fact that I got buy one get one free on my cheese today at the store. I am very very happy about that because when it's buy one get one free, you're not going to buy just one; you're going to buy two. So I bought four. I eat two different types of cheeses. I needed two of each. So buy one get one free on the cheese today at my store. Okay, that's it.
Okie dokie. Well, the only thing I got to say is one more thing before you all go. Thank you very much for being part of the One More Thing Before You Go podcast family. We appreciate each and every one of you. Look forward to having a conversation with you each and every week, both on Sundays and on Wednesdays. We've got a great lineup over the next few weeks with some brilliant new people coming in to share their journeys and their stories. So we appreciate you more than we can actually say. Please support us by subscribing and following and write us a review. We really appreciate that. It helps us to help us to get the word out and to grow. So thank you very much for being part of us.
And watch us on YouTube.
And yeah, that's it. Watch us on YouTube as well. Is before you go, well, they changed the moniker on me. So the link will be on the webpage, beforeyougo.podcast.com. You'll find a link there to YouTube, our YouTube channel. It'll take you right to that. You'll love it.
Yes.
So have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great week. And thanks for listening.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.